Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the recap video for the 10th and final round of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship Season 3. This was held on the North Loop in supercars. There was a 0% chance of rain. GT1 cars were in the Osiris, GT1 drivers were in the Cheetah, and GT3s were in the Bullet. So apologies that this has taken quite a while to get out since the highlights from the championship end. We obviously had the DLC for GTA, which has caused a bit of a backlog, but we're finally getting around to it and we'll wrap up the championship in this video as well. The race on the Xbox One side was pretty much decided on the issues that were had throughout the course of the race. There was basically somebody disconnected, and then Xbox is known sometimes to have frame rate issues with that, and ultimately that meant that some people were affected by that more than others. I was getting frame drops, but other people were getting them more than others, and races in some instances were decided on that. I ended up finishing in second in what was a pretty ridiculous, it was a classic championship ending race, if you like. You know, when you reminds me of sort of when Lewis Hamilton won the championship in 2008 in Brazil. One of those races where the driver, the title is flipping between two different drivers all the way through the race, where one person has to get one result. There's another person out front, like Calavera obviously got the win there in that race, finishing off the season in great style. So he was out in front, and basically for me to win the championship I had to finish second, and it was just on a knife edge all the way through. I was way down the order, had a nightmare start to the race, came back through the pack, then the issues happened, I was up into second, then I was down again, and then I was being chased right at the end, so it was tense. It was a great end to the championship. From an entertainment perspective, it was just a shame that sort of the issues that we had during that race ultimately decided the outcome of that race. And there were some people that were said, you know, you should replay the race, but you can't do that. You know, that's just racing, and we've been over this before in previous videos, especially, you know, when we had all of the disconnections on the PC side in the rain race. You can't make exceptions. If, for example, if those people who had frame rate issues in that race had all disconnected and it was in round 2, for example, we would have just got on with it, and we would have not thought about it. So these things happen in racing when it comes to racing in a video game, and ultimately that's just how it goes. It's a shame, but you know, there's nothing really we can do. In GT2, the winner here was Blodia X5. He managed to hold off King Blaze, who was a little bit quicker, but Blodia X5 managed to be a lot more consistent throughout the race, got the win, and that ultimately gave him the championship victory as well. It was a good battle between those two, King Blaze and Blodia X5, because basically whoever won that race would end up winning the championship. So it was tense between those two as well, and it was Blodia X5 who managed to get that. And then in GT3, Brandon 11M took advantage of the issues that other people had, got his first win of the season right at the end there, so good job to him. Wolfie Bigtail came home in second with Ducati Doctor in third. We'll see the championship standings in a little while, but it's very close on GT3. For the championship in GT1, I obviously ended up winning that with that second place, 2 points ahead of Calavera, who came on very strong in the second half of the season, and then Crazy Man got a good third place there as well. Shame he didn't get very many points in the last round, but yeah, he both Calavera and Crazy Man had great seasons and great races, and I feel privileged and happy that I've been able to get that championship win, because I certainly wasn't expecting it at the start of the season, and I've never won a GT1 championship before, so really nice to get that as well. And yeah, I certainly came into the season not expecting that in the slightest, and I guess I've had my best races on the Xbox One because I was the most fresh when it came into the weekend. I've had some really good races, I think, as well, and it's been more about a sort of consistency throughout the season. Interestingly, the rules were slightly changed throughout the course of the season. At the start of the season, if you missed more than one round, then your 0 point score for the rounds that you missed beyond that one round would have been taken into account in the final score. So, you know, Crazy Man and Calavera, who missed Crazy Man missed 2 rounds, Calavera missed 3. They wouldn't have been in contention for the championship, but it seemed more fair to sort of change that and just allow the best 7 results to count regardless of how many they'd missed, just to keep it sort of more fair and more interesting. And I'm kind of relieved a little bit that rule change didn't come back to bite me, and I managed to get the championship win in the end anyway. But yeah, I was really happy about it, and reflecting back on it, it's probably one of the best, the most consistent championships I've ever put towards. And although I only got that one win in round 9, it was sort of more the consistency that helped me get that, and obviously the win in round 9 actually really did help in the end as well. So in GT2, as I mentioned, Blodia X5 managed to get the championship victory, 3 points ahead of King Blaze, very close between them. Obviously King Blaze came in for round 3, but put in some really great performances, and it's nice to see that the top 2 got sort of full hauls of points where disconnections and missed rounds didn't come into account. The same with GT3, GT1, apart from Crazy Man with some, I think one of his disconnections caused his score to be a little bit lower, but on most of the time, only taking into account the best 7 results for the championship has helped in terms of making disconnections matter less to the overall championship standings. In GT3, Ducati Doctor got the overall championship victory here. He's my teammate on the Ron Racing team, with Squillum93 in second and Wolfie Bigtail in third. The most incredible part about this is that they were all within a point of each other. Absolutely crazy how close the GT3 championship was on Xbox One in the end. 89 points for the winner Ducati Doctor, 88 points for second place Squillum93, and 87 points for Wolfie Bigtail. Absolutely amazing how close that was, and those 3 have been the standout performers in GT3 all the way through the championship. And yeah, well done to all of you guys, and obviously well done to Ducati Doctor for getting the win, but well done to all 3 of them for putting in great season performances and being so close right at the end. And that's the closest championship that we have across all the platforms. In terms of the teams championship on Xbox One, Preservex got the win here with a total of 299 points, plays 286 from Vanilla Unicorn. Very close between them, considering this takes into account all 10 rounds and only 13 points is the difference there. And then my team, the Ron Racing team, came home in third place for the team championship with a total of 266 points. So yeah, it was pretty close in the teams championship as well, and well done to Preservex winning, I think, the third teams championship in consecutive seasons on the Xbox side. So yeah, good job to those guys. We'll move on to the PC side now. The Driver Championship for PC, that was decided at basically, I've mentioned this before, but Super Stepper had to win the race to win the championship, and in the end it was Cloud McShort, my teammate on the PC side, who got his very first win of the season right at the end. Ultimately, Super Stepper came home in second place. He was quicker, but just couldn't put that consistent performance together. And Cloud McShort getting the victory ultimately gave the championship victory to Doom Penguin, as we'll see. But yeah, good performance from Cloud to get his first win of the season. Super Stepper got a good second place, anyway, and Avivo came home in third. Good performances from those guys, with Fab Iceman in fourth. In the GT2 championship, in the GT2 race, sorry for the North Loop, let's do the race first before we talk about the championship. Machiski got the win here ahead of Mountain Man and the Bad Loser. Mountain Man is also Jed 1A on the PS4 side, so just for when we talk about the PS4 side, he will feature in the GT2 race there as well. But yeah, Machiski got the win there, 15 points. He's been the standout performer in GT2 all the way through the season. He was actually slower across a single lap than Mountain Man, but put the consistency together, and the Bad Loser's third place in that race secured him third place in the championship as well. In the GT3 race, Brad Starr got his first win of the season, so we've had quite a few first wins of the season in this final round, and we'll see that on the PS4 side as well. But Brad Starr got a good win there. He, again, exactly the same as GT1 and GT2, the quickest guy across a single lap didn't win. It was the most consistent driver that won. Brad Starr got the win, even though he was about 3 seconds per lap slower than John. Obviously that's a long lap, but yeah, John came home in second place, and I managed to squeeze another podium out of it in third place. So let's have a look at the championship. Doom Penguin has led from start to finish in GT1. He wasn't there for the last 2 rounds, so he wasn't able to take points off Super Stepper, and he very nearly lost out on the championship to Super Stepper, but ultimately he did hold on to that championship lead, won the championship by 1 point ahead of Super Stepper in second place, and Avivo got a good third place, just 3 points ahead of Fab Iceman. Very close between those. Those 4 I would say have been all the way close all the way through. But yeah, Doom Penguin was the standout performer, and again another case where he's had 2 missed rounds and 1 disconnection, so his best 7 scores have not taken those into account. So it's good again that disconnections and things like that aren't taken into account from a championship perspective. In GT2, Michiski got the overall championship victory, which was already decided in previous rounds. Mountain Man, who only came into the championship in round 5, he managed to get up into second place. I don't think he had, even if he'd scored 15 points in the 1 round that would have gone towards his overall total, he wouldn't have been able to overhaul Michiski. So, you know, that's a really great performance from him, even though he's basically scoring 1 round less than everybody else. And the bad loser on 61 points was 5 points ahead of Sugar Free Nos in that quite tight battle for third place in GT2. Good job to him for getting that. In GT3, obviously this was decided as well already, that I managed to get the championship win there on 97 points, but John managed to overhaul Thronebreaker in that final race for the second place in the championship to get 84 points to Thronebreaker's 80, and those 2 were very good all the way through, so good to see those, you know, keep that second and third place in the GT3 championship. For the Teams Championship on PC, we saw the biggest point score for any team across any of the platforms with LSDWP, Los Santos Department for Water and Power. They had Avivo, Michiski and John, who were always pretty much in the top 3 in every single race, so totally overpowered team, ended up winning the championship by a huge margin with 319 points. My team, the Run Racing team, came home in second place, 254 points, and then U2 came home in third place, only 5 points ahead of Children of the Mountain there. So yeah, good job to all those teams, and so far I've been in the top 3 in all of the championships with my team and myself, so that's pretty cool. Move on to the PS4 side. The race on PS4 in GT1 was pretty spectacular from what I've seen. Smithy and Picano were fighting for the championship in GT1, and they were starting in first and second places in the race, and ultimately they were having a good battle at the front of the field. Once again, as we saw with all of the PC races, Picano actually had a better single lap time. He was quicker over a single lap. But it was Smithy that managed to get the win overall in the race and take home the championship victory as well. Because of that, just being more consistent, but they were having a very good battle and swapping of places all the way through the first half of the race. Must have been very intense, and great job to both of those guys, because they've been very quick, and certainly throughout the near the end of the season it was definitely between those 2. In third place, El Mister got a good third place there to back up the second place that he got in round 9. Very good job to him. In GT2, as you probably saw from the highlights, I got my first win of the season. Again, you know, someone else getting their first win of the season on the final round. We've had that quite a lot this round across all the platforms, and I was absolutely over the moon about that, honestly. It was the one. PS4 has been such a tormented season for me. There's been so many ups and downs, so many races where I felt I could have done so much better. I should have had much more wins than what I did. I was always going into the races, the last race of the weekend, far too tired, not enough practice, and ultimately to get that win in the final round on the North Loop in the Cheetah, the very final race of the 30 race season, what it was for me, was fantastic and such a huge relief to have a win on all of the platforms. And I was just, yeah, to sort of end it that way, I couldn't have wished for anything better. Abe Gunners ultimately came home in second place in the race. It was a very good battle between both of us, and we had a great fight all the way through the race. And Jed1A, who again I mentioned before was Mountain Man on the PC side, he came home in third place, not too far behind. And again, it was just more about consistency in the race that led to the winner rather than all-out pace. In GT3 on PS4, I'm Awesome got his second win of the season to actually overhaul Jonty for second place in the championship with that. So that was a very important win for him. He did a very good race, got a good result there. In second place was Drubert, who was he was in the lead for quite a while from what I saw, and it was a shame that he couldn't get that win. He's had quite a few second places and just narrowly missed out in the championship as well on the top 3 positions, but a very good performance from him to get that second place. And then Jonty came home in third place in the race. We'll look at the championship now, and Smithy 112 won the championship on GT1 by 4 points ahead of Picano. Those, as I said, those two were the standout performers all season, and Smithy was pretty much the out-and-out quickest driver on most tracks, most weeks. In the start of the championship, he had trouble getting his consistency up, but yeah, he's done exactly what he needed to get the championship win, and very well deserved, and a great second place to Picano as well. Macy was pretty much the surprise of the season, I would say, with his third place in GT1. I don't think many expected him to do that, but he put in some really great performances and was very consistent, and even just accumulating those points, did very well to get his third place and podium position in the championship. In the GT2 championship, Abe Gunners, obviously that was already decided. He'd got the win with 97 points. I managed to overhaul Tom Tad for second place, so pretty much second place for life when it comes to the PS4 side. Second place in the GT2 championship as well. It's pretty much typical. But yeah, I'm happy that I managed to get that. I wish I'd been able to give a better performance throughout the season and put a bit more time into it. But, I've already got a GT2 championship from season 2, and that goes along with my GT1 and GT3 championships from this season. I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to do in this multi-class endurance championship across the seasons. So yeah, you can't win them all. Tom Tad, even though he didn't participate in the last few rounds, he managed to keep hold of that third place, and he was very quick in the early stages, so very well done to him. And very close between Imarodko and Mike for fourth place, only a point between them, and also only a point between Shred and Evo for sixth place. So some very close battles in there in the GT2 championship. When it comes to the GT3 championship, obviously 40 was already decided as the winner there with 96 points. I'm awesome, as I said, just managed to overhaul Jonty for second place. Jonty in third place, there was only 2 points between them. Both of them, very good. Well done to all of the guys for making it through the championship and finishing in those top 3 positions. For the team's championship, it couldn't have been any closer, really. Richard's Majestic, consisting of El Mister, Abe Gunners and 40. Obviously, Abe Gunners and 40 were the 2 championship winners in GT2 and GT3, so very, very good from them. They got the win in the team's championship ahead of my own team, the Ron Racing team. Only 4 points separated us. Smithy in GT1, myself in GT2, and Futuro for the first part of the season in GT3, and then Horse Demo for the second part of the season. It was so close, and ultimately those team tactics that El Mister did in the Ron Raceway round, they didn't matter. They didn't make a difference ultimately. What did make a difference was round 9, when myself and Smithy were leading the races on Los Santos Grand Prix, and we both completely capitulated. Had even just one of us managed to hold on to the win, we would have been able to win the team's championship. And I think over the majority of rounds, we had the better team as a whole. But Abe Gunners and 40, with the victories that they were getting in their respective classes, they put in great performances to keep the team afloat. And then El Mister in the end of the season sort of upped his game and got some extra points, and ultimately it was that 9th round that cost it for us, because we really did outscore them quite a lot in round 10, but it just wasn't enough. So it was that cost us. And it's such a shame, really. But, second place for life once again. What can I say? If you're on my team, you're probably going to finish second. But, yeah, really close, really tense all the way through to the end. And well done to Richard's Majestic for getting that team's victory. And West Coast Classics came home in third place with 216 points, only 4 points ahead of Devon Western and 5 points ahead of Fleecer Bank in fourth and fifth. So very close for that final podium position in the teams championship. Good job to them. And yeah, well done to everybody really at this point who managed to get through the championship, because I think it's easy to sort of watch these videos and see what we do and think that it's quite easy, but this is an endurance championship, not just in the races but in the championship itself. 10 hour-and-a-half long races is a lot. It's a hell of a lot of time. It takes a lot of a concentration just in for one race, and to make it through all 10 rounds is absolutely fantastic. And what I'm going to do on the screen now is put the names of everybody who finished every single round, who turned up to every single round of the season. Those guys are in my eyes the true winners of the championship, to be honest, because they made it through it. They made it through every single race. They turned up to every single race. That takes a hell of a lot of effort. It really, really does. A few interesting mentions is Jed 1A, who participated in pretty much every single championship there was to participate in. He was in GT1, GT2 and GT3 as a reserve driver on the PS4 side. He also participated in the GT4 secondary championship on the PS4 side. If anyone wants details of that, I'll leave it in the description. There's too much to talk about in this video. But yeah, we ran a secondary championship on PS4 because there were such high numbers, which was quite fun to do. But yeah, I'll leave a link to the spreadsheet for that in the description as well. He also participated in GT2 on the PC side. So Jed really did put in a hell of a lot of put in a lot of races, and he participated in a lot of different championships. So quite interesting to see that, and we've never really had that before, that one person has done so many different things. Also, big credit to, as I mentioned, everybody who finished all 10 rounds, but anybody who stayed in the season from start to finish as well. Even if you missed rounds in between, you know, well done for even just sticking with it and not dropping out, because we did have a lot of dropouts as the season went on across all the platforms. Also, I just want to give a shout out to Abe Gunners, who he won the team's championship in season 2 as well. So he's certainly a true team player, and if you have Abe Gunners on your team, you're probably going to win the championship, because even though he didn't get any victories last season in season 2, his team, he put in great performances and still managed to help his team get the victory. So yeah, good job to him. I have to actually give a massive shout out to all the championship winners on the PS4 side, because they've all been through quite a bit. Smithy was in the GT3 championship on season 2 and only missed out on the championship there because of disconnection. So he's got that championship in GT1 that he sort of wholly deserves. Abe Gunners, after being basically a team player in season 2 and getting a lot of second places and never getting a win, he managed to up his game in GT2 and got a really great championship, put a great championship together and really deserved it. And 40 in GT3, he got his championship win there is very, very good, because he actually finished in second place in the GT3 championship behind double S92 in season 2. So he's kind of extended himself and gone beyond what he did in season 2. So very well done to him. And also to finish, sort of a massive shout out to 40 himself. There were, coming into this season, there were 4 people who'd done all rounds of all the championships so far. So every single round in season 1 and every single round in season 2. One of them was Craig9876, who was in GT1 and he dropped out after the first round in GT1. One of them was Double S92, who ended up only missing 1 round this season. So he's participated in every single round that it's possible for him to have participated in across all seasons of the Multi-Class Endurance Championship, apart from one. So that on its own is to be admired, and good job to him. But apart from myself, 40 has participated in every single round of the championship across all seasons of the championship. He participated in the first 7 rounds of the PS3 Championship in Season 1. Then he participated in all 10 rounds of the PS4 Championship in Season 2. And then he participated in all 10 rounds of the PS4 Championship in Season 3. So he's the only person to have never ever missed a multi-class endurance championship race. And given the amount of dropouts that we had, the amount of the mental strength that you have to get around all this, big shout out to him for being able to do that, and also for double for only missing one as well, but 40 in particular for getting through every single round. And he truly does deserve that GT3 championship win on the PS4. One other thing that I want to mention is I actually managed to get through every single race this season across all platforms, and I very rarely praise myself, I guess. You know, I'm always down on myself in terms of my race performances and things like that. But the main goal with me for this season was to just make it through all the races. And I did it, and I'm so happy that I managed to do it. I did, and I didn't disconnect at any point. So I actually did the full hour and a half of every single race, every single week in, week out, 3 races every week, 30 races, 30 hour and a half races. It was so tough. It really, really was. It was such a trial getting through that all, considering that I'd done 17 races throughout the entirety of seasons 1 and 2 before now. And then to come into this and add 30 to that list in such a small time frame, I'm so glad that I managed to get through it. And I'm just, it's a nice way to finish, that I've been able to make it through all of the races, and to get a victory on the very last of those 30 races just made it even that extra special. So thank you guys who have been watching from season 1 to season 3. Those of you who've came in with season 2 and only came in season 3, if you have only come in season 3, feel free to go back and watch seasons 1 and 2 of this championship to see how it all developed. Thank you guys for sticking by this and watching and dealing with my ups and downs, and yeah, just continually supporting the championship, the drivers, the season itself, and myself from a personal standpoint on my channel. I really, really do appreciate it. And these championships are incredibly difficult to organize. They take a lot of time and a lot of effort for just to organize it, but to racing it as well across all platforms, it was definitely too much, and I shouldn't have done that. But to have got to the end of it, having not dropped out at any point, I'm really happy about it, and I just want to thank you guys for the support that you showed throughout the season. So that's pretty much it. That is the championship all wrapped up. That this will be the last video in this series, but I am going to make some videos about the shenanigans beforehand, obviously, but that will be part of the GTA Live series. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about the championship down below. I've rambled on a lot in this, and I do apologise, but hey, I have to indulge myself sometimes at the end of this season. So thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Well done to everybody who participated in this, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all your support. I really, really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.